So one of the things that was coming up this week in conversations with the executive leadership team for the Center for Human Skills was around just the concept and idea of balance. Like, so many things have to go into what we're building, so much time, so much energy, the priorities, all the different things that we all have individually going on, and the commitment to what's being built, and how do you balance? Can you balance? And I think one of the pieces that I'm a big believer in is balance doesn't actually look like equal. I think balance is so based on where energy has to go and in what capacity. And sometimes that may be 80-20, sometimes that may be 90-10, sometimes it's 100 and nothing, sometimes it's 50-50. Like, I think we have to figure out what balance means for us in these different things. But one of the things that someone on our team named, and I really like it, and I want to invite people into just thinking about this, is harmony. Instead of looking for balance, can you look for harmony? And what does that mean to experience harmony? And for me, like right now, in terms of what I have going on, the Center for Human Skills and what we're building is getting a ton of energy. And it's okay right now. It's bringing a ton of harmony because I know where it's going. I know what it's invested towards, and in other pieces. I get to then sit and readjust and figure out, what does harmony look like? And that can be on a daily basis. That can be on a weekly basis, monthly basis. That can be in a season. So I want to challenge the idea of balance. I don't actually really believe in balance in your very generic way, or just how people will conceptually think about it. I think balance is more related to harmony and what that looks like and how that shows up, and understanding that sometimes balance or sometimes harmony means things aren't getting as much attention as they might have gotten before. So maybe it's a little invitation to think about it. It's been totally on our minds, especially because we're in just this sprint, it feels like, which feels right. And just trying to navigate some of those pieces. So balance is a big thing. I'm also getting ready right now to go to a fundraising event. So looking forward to going in there. It's with one of the organizations that we are going to be working with. So just to meet their network and meet other people. And it's local. It's in the Charlotte space right now. So really excited about that. I will fill you all in just things that I learn, cool things that come from it. One of the things I'm also thinking about as we are heading into our fundraising as a startup right now is trying to learn from the way that others do things. So this organization specifically, how are they doing things, and how can we replicate some of it? If we're putting events on, if we're bringing people together, what does that start to look like in order to get people behind the work we're doing, behind the mission that we have, finding the right partners. So really just excited on all fronts to get out there, to spend more time with people, connect. I've said this before, I'm a firm believer in we have to do this together. And so excited to just meet more people, spend time in this space, work that fundraising muscle, because if you all know me and my background, I do not have a background in fundraising. And so this is kind of a fun thing to take on as we're building the Center for Human Skills. So I will keep you all updated, and I'll talk to you soon. Wanted to circle back and just update you all on the summer event that Beth and I had an opportunity to go to, representing Center for Human Skills. And it was just such an incredible space, a great community building, network and connection space to come together with folks that are in the government space, nonprofit space, education space, philanthropy space, venture capitalist space, just across the board, people in all these different spaces coming together through a specific organization to just share and connect. And that was really fun. It's a completely different space to be in, one that gets me really excited. I love learning. I love trying new things. I love developing new skill sets. And so just being able to kind of lean into that space as it relates to building a startup nonprofit, fundraising, just kind of being a learner again and leaning into the process and connecting with people, sharing what we're building. Beth and I just had an incredible time, and it felt really good. I think one of the things we're getting used to and getting in the practice of is connecting with people from all different industries to just share the work that we're building, and getting people on board and getting people involved, and just building those relationships in the connections, and sharing our story has been such a big piece of that, and just continuing to feel comfortable, continuing to share aspects of it has been really cool. So had an awesome time in Charlotte, and we're really excited to continue connecting with some of those people and building out the Center for Human Skills. I want to share something that I've learned over probably the last 5 years that has really just impacted me as an individual in just the work that I'm a part of, and more around just how I show up. I was having a conversation last week with someone who is in the space that I am in, of building and being a part of what we're doing at the Center for Human Skills, and has their own thing, and there's just a lot. Like in my world, there's a lot. Navigating and building Come Home, and all the time and energy that's going into the Center for Human Skills and school. Those are so many different avenues. In my world, they fall under an umbrella, so that is really helpful for me. But there has to be a lot of intentionality and a lot of discipline in those spaces, especially to grow them. And one of the things this person was reaching out to me about was talking about like managing that. How are you managing it? And I already know I reflected on balance. But one of the things that I was thinking about also as it related to the conversation was just about like my personal confidence. I think when you start something new and you just lean into something that you want to build, there's this rebuilding that has to happen, and you might not have the stability of that financial paycheck anymore, or the stability of a title or a role, and like you're figuring it out. And I think personally for me, my confidence took a little hit, or I needed to like re-navigate how to build that again. And one of the things that comes with that, and I was sharing with this person, was just showing up for what I say I'm gonna do. I think one of the best traits people can have is that you are reliable. That like you say you're gonna do something and you do it. I think that builds so much trust. I think that builds so much, again, reliability. And as I was building a career and are continuing to build my career and build my my brand and the work and projects I'm a part of, one of the things that I've really, really been intentional about is just following through on whatever I say I'm gonna do. That could be something big as it relates to collaborations or work, or that can be something small. But if I say I'm gonna do something to myself or to people, I just simply do it. And that's brought up a couple of things. One, it's made me more disciplined and more strategic and intentional of how I'm designing and allocating my time. And two, it's helped me create this filter of what I say yes and no to. I can't just say yes to everything anymore. Like, I have to be extremely intentional, because I won't be able to follow through on everything. That's my own personal capacity. Like, I have to be completely aware of that. And two, then I get to figure out like what actually needs my energy. If I say I'm gonna do something, if I'm paying attention to what I say to people and the commitments that I make and whatever, can I honor my word? And that's just what it's been about for the past 4 or 5 years, is just honoring my word and my commitment to what I say I'm gonna do. And I think that's helped me build personal relationships, professional relationships be brought into more conversations is because I've started to really just lean into, can I be reliable to people? If I say I'm gonna create this thing, or I say I'm gonna connect this person to this person, if I say I'm going to set blank up or reach out about whatever, I do it. And that's it. And so that was kind of my conversation with this individual, was just really be thoughtful about what you say you're gonna do and just show up for that. It could be 5 things, it could be 1 thing, but if you commit to something and you tell people you're gonna do it, do it. And I think that goes such a long way. Someone who is reliable will always have a seat at the table.